welcome to Baki Taki Season 2, Episode 10, Stand and Fight. This was one I've been looking forward to for a long time, and so to help me with that, we have a special double feature, maybe triple if Lindsay feels like contributing, but it's Max and Allie.
Woo! Baki Taki crew!
The crew is here.
You asked for one of us, unfortunately the other one came along.
The two crew.
Yes. We have two of our most popular guests. Both of your episodes did very well.
No kidding.
Yeah. Max, I know you posted your episode on Instagram. And Allie, I know your episode was very well received.
Yeah, I didn't even post about it. I just told the fans on the street.
Yeah, shout out to the Maxie Nizzy crew who follow me on
It's
Instagram.
my aunts.
It's Allie's aunts.
So I have a question that I've been doing for everybody just as like a fun second time on the pod question.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you to, if we were going to make a live action Baki movie, who would you cast?
As Baki? Don't know. I haven't seen him in any episode.
Let's go with the first character that we see in this episode, Jack Hanma, the giant man. If you had to cast him, live action movie, who would you cast him as?
Oh, this is actually easy for me.
I have no idea.
This is actually easy for me. It's the villain from Avatar.
That's a great one.
The general from Avatar.
Oh, from the first one?
He's technically in...
the dad
Spoiler
from Life with Derek.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, the dad from what?
Life with Derek. That's who I'll cast.
He's on a comeback. He was in Ginny in Georgia, and he was also in something else.
That's who I would cast.
For.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we can add to the cinematic universe. We've got the guy from Squid Games playing Yujiro Hanma because he has red hair.
Okay.
Bill Skarsgård is gonna play an old 150-year-old Chinese man.
Okay.
And Michael B. Jordan will play the main character from this episode.
What about Corbin Blue?
Corbin Blue is more of a jump rope guy.
But that could be a weapon.
I'm gonna cast him for the Lost reboot that eventually happens.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he was.
That's what I mean.
He was in that young. What was it called? Like
Flight 27 Down.
Oh God, so good.
Stephen Lang is the name of the Avatar general, just so everyone knows.
Are we allowed to drink on the pod?
Yeah, you're allowed to
Okay,
drink.
you might hear me slurp.
Okay, well, no slurping.
He said drinking, no slurping.
All right, so now this is where we have to get into the fun part of the episode because we have to start using character names. Who do you did you catch the name of the character that this whole episode's about?
No.
All right.
That's a big NO.
So we're just gonna get this out of the way. That is Muhammad Ali Jr.
The
son of
why you
Muhammad
brought
Ali.
me on.
Shut up.
Ali.
No, that's not why he brought you on.
It's my namesake.
You were named after Muhammad Ali.
I would be disappointed in Steve if the reason he brought you on is because Muhammad Ali's last name is technically yours.
No.
We'll call him Majunior.
Yeah, Majunior. The real reason I brought you guys back is because it's been forever since you've been on the podcast. And also, if loyal listeners remember back in episode 11, I said I would bring you back when they go to prom. That doesn't happen.
What? You lied? There's no prom?
There's no prom, but I figured this was as close as it gets.
God. The fans, they've been waiting for the prom episode.
This is the closest it
Baki
gets.
goes to prom. Make it happen, Netflix.
One day. There's a new season coming out soon.
Teen Wolf movie just came out. They can make Baki Taki prom.
Teen Wolf the movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Teen Wolf the show, the movie.
Some people just have no taste. Anyway, so a lot happens in this episode. So last episode was the rise of Muhammad Ali Jr. He was undefeated. He won all of his fights. This episode is the denouement of the roller coaster.
Whoa.
And it begins with him meeting Jack Hanma.
Jack Hanma. It's a real honor to meet you.
Hold that thought until I'm finished.
What were your guys' first impressions of Jack Hanma at the fancy
Big
restaurant?
lips.
Okay.
Really big lips.
Well, so I do voice acting, and I can't imagine.
Really? Do a voice right now.
Well, don't come back around here.
All right.
Okay.
I was channeling the goat from Hoodwink.
All right, so you do voice acting.
Yeah, and
I have a voice.
I can't imagine what they told Stephen Lang. What's his name? Hanma? Something?
Jack Hanma.
Jack Hanma.
Yeah.
Big Jack.
JJ.
I can't imagine what they told Jack to do, because it's the most orgasmic eating I've ever heard.
Wait, we forgot to talk about the new theme song.
All right.
There was a
let's
new
rewind
theme
here.
song. It was hard for me to know it was a new theme song
was a
because
new
I didn't
theme
know there was an
song.
old theme song.
It's important that every episode we talk about the theme song. So what
What
happened?
were your thoughts on the theme song?
It was less intense. It was definitely, they went for a very local vibe. I don't know where particularly.
That's the Grand Raitai arena.
Oh.
I
okay.
didn't even know there was an arena in the theme song. It just looked so dramatic and sad. I thought maybe a breakup had occurred. Unfortunately, we didn't get to witness a breakup.
Yeah, I missed the one with I missed the electric guitar and explosions.
It's so funny that you said this is less intense, because the season 2 one that neither of you guys saw was 1,000,000 times more intense.
Really?
I'll show it to you afterwards.
Well, this is a course correction then.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the lips and your thought on the
Let's
food
talk
sounds.
about those lips.
It's like, oh my god, it was like he was just like orgasming every time he was eating, basically.
Ew. I almost feel as horrible watching the scene as you saying that word.
I don't even think that's a word. I think I mispronounced
You
it.
It's
are.
not a
You
word.
are. I thought you were mispronouncing on purpose.
But that's the vibe of the scene. Is it's extremely sensual.
I hope that I didn't rush you.
No. I'm the one who chose to rush. After all, seems this might be something more enticing than a meal.
And there's a butler, which I can't rule out is his sexual partner.
I thought
because
from the moment this
he's
episode
watching
started, yes.
him intensely as he's
That's what at a restaurant they're called.
enjoying.
At a restaurant they're called a waiter,
I'm
not
gonna
a
use a
butler.
general. I'm gonna use a very polite word. Enjoying his food, he is orgasming his.
No
food
more of that.
consistently.
So here's what I thought. From the moment this episode started, I thought it was going to be a love story between Majunior and Jack.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, that was not the case. The moment that the steak was shoved into his
It was a
throat,
love story between Jack and that steak.
and that
he
steak.
ate.
But besides that, I was really disappointed.
That was the most loving, tender moment, especially the steak
yeah,
of the
it's true.
entire episode. For
It's
sure.
true. Does it not make me hungry for dinner? That's all I have to say.
Made me hungry. He ate that steak in one bite. That's how you know it's a good steak.
Look like a
Technically,
chicken
there were
nugget.
2 bites, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Because he went
Mm.
oh,
Yeah, okay,
oh,
yeah.
and then he had another chew.
Good point.
I am
where it
gonna-
was the
I'm-
second organism.
I would cut this
I'm
out.
gonna warn. Yeah, if we say orgasm 4 times, we do get banned off Apple Podcasts.
They have a 3 orgasm limit.
And honestly,
that's it.
yeah.
That's it. You've said the last one.
You know,
Done.
my mom does listen to this podcast. So Muhammad Ali Jr. has come to fight Jack Hanma. He's feeling very high on himself, having defeated Doppo Arachi and Goki Shibukawa in the previous episode.
Ooh.
And so, of course, where else would they go? They don't go to a park this time. They go to either the sewers or an underground parking garage. It's not super clear.
Well,
I thought the sewer probably.
I would say it's very clear because they show the same leaky pipe 3 times. What's funny about it?
have a leaky pipe
Anywhere.
yeah.
At a home.
Yeah.
Well, what's,
In a basement.
Okay, first
If
of
your
all,
pipes start leaking, Max is going to say, we're living
We're
in
in the
sewers.
sewer. We're in a sewer.
for fans of the movie's Species, it's
No, no one
basically
knows what that is.
basically at the end of the movie where her tentacle nipples are wrapping around.
Oh, I
This
know
is
this
about to get
movie.
flagged.
Ben Kingsley, and that's a crazy movie.
This is
too.
Shang-Chi, right?
No, it's not Shang-Chi. That would have made Shang-Chi crazy.
For all the Baki Talkie fans that are not getting the references, me neither, guys. Stay on for better content towards the end.
oh, great. But yeah, they're in a sewer, and then I think for some reason I think he's taking him somewhere, and then they have this argument about.
Did you write notes about species?
Yeah, I just wrote
No.
spit of fury because he started spitting like this, and the spit was crazy. It like was gobs of rain. Boom,
Oh, he
boom.
had teeth in those spits.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice
Very
that.
bloody.
We're skipping ahead.
No.
First of all, this is a theme. The underlying theme of this episode is big and small. They always, for every
That's
every
not the
scene,
theme that I
for
noticed.
every scene of two people, they have to have a giant guy
Yep.
and a small guy.
So I want to tell a fun story about Jack Hanma. So when Baki fought Jack was probably about 6 foot. I'm gonna guess 6'1", 6'2".
Oh, he's grown.
Yeah. So what he did is he broke every bone in his body. And if you've ever heard you can break your bones and have them regrow longer.
No, I've never heard that.
Well, it's a thing that they typically do with like people with dwarfism.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Or Lionel Messi,
Or Lionel Messi.
Why?
because he's small, and they had to give him hormones and things.
Yeah.
Shit.
But Jack Hanma did that for every one of his limbs, and he grew about 8 inches.
Did his hands grow?
So that's where it gets weird.
What are you talking about?
No, that's a good point.
Because then he has bigger fists.
That's the thing, is proportionally he should look like he has a tiny head and tiny hands, but he doesn't. So I guess his hands and head also did grow.
He broke his head.
His brain grew in size, yeah. Anyway, just a little fun fact about Jack Hanma.
And how many episodes ago did they fight?
They never fought. That was their first meeting.
That was the first time they met. This guy is enjoying a steak, and this other guy comes
Yeah,
up and says,
again.
"It's time for us to fight."
Again, in big italics, enjoying his steak.
The fun fact is, the first time we were introduced to Jack on this show, he was at the same restaurant, and Retsu saw him order a pig, and then he went, he's not going to eat that whole pig. And then he ate the whole pig, like
Wow.
bones and all.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Actually, it's not a question, it's a reflection. When we went into the therapist's office, I, for a second, thought, this is a flash forward. And we're seeing this man, and he's gone through all this trauma. And then I thought, the therapist looks like a sad Edward Norton. And then I was very
He sorta does.
confused. And then he said, I have a son. And it all clicked. And then we went back to the alleyway.
Alright.
No.
A sad Edward Norton or Charlie Bucket's dad.
All right,
I don't know what that
I
is.
have to jump in. Charlie Bucket is from Willy Wonka.
Well, you could have just said the kid from Willy Wonka.
No, his dad.
Charlie Bucket doesn't have a dad. He has a grandpa.
He has a dad. Mike, he works at the toothpaste factory,
has a
and he's replaced by robotics. Because
Look it up, Baki Talkie
They
crew.
found a way
Okay,
to screw
this
on
is getting
caps.
off the rails, especially because that's not his therapist. So, in the middle of this fight, like most fights, we cut back to Muhammad Ali Sr.
Yes.
At his house. That is a reporter who has come to do a story about Muhammad Ali Sr., who is apparently the world's richest man who lives in the world's nicest house.
God,
and
so
is
many
a national
questions.
hero.
They did not
So
make
many
that clear.
questions.
They did not make it clear that it was a reporter.
Well, first of all, I feel like the people who wrote Baki heard about the term mise en scène and went, "Yep, we don't have to explain anything."
Can you explain what that is?
No.
Oh, sorry, not mise en scène. Sorry, what am I saying?
We don't know.
I meant.
Parfait?
I meant.
Mise en place?
Après
ski?
Comme ça va?
What's
Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes? Baki
thank
Talkie?
you. We're very bilingual
Bonjour.
here. Medias res. Sorry, I said mise en scène, which is a film term. Medias res, right? With mid conversation.
I don't know what that means, Baki Talkie. At this point, we're going to throw in an ad. Back to the fight.
Are you talking
so-
to Baki Talkie?
So inside the sewer, where
Back to the sewer.
where Species was filmed, where Forrest Whitaker plays a psychic that the police hire.
You totally wrote that in your notes.
No, we don't know. There's a quick conversation about steroids, because what I've noticed about this show I've technically watched 3 episodes because I watched your episode.
Spoiler.
Is every character has a power?
Yes.
Quote unquote, big quotes there. His power was breaking his bones and giving himself steroids.
Yeah, he actually, before the bone thing, he used to be literally the old 99-pound weakling type of guy.
Oh, wow.
He couldn't amass muscle
Well,
mass, so he did take a bunch of
New
steroids.
year, knew him.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like,
Which
the
implies
Winter
that nobody
Soldier.
else in this show takes steroids also.
Well,
Yeah.
it's an interesting conversation about steroids, because Majunior, what are we calling him?
Majunior.
You
Majunior.
can call him whatever you like.
Majunior says, well, if it were that easy, everyone would do it. And let me tell you, steroids are that easy, and they should all be doing it. Especially Majunior, who gets a fistful.
I'm gonna be honest, guys.
Wink.
At this point, I was waiting for the kissing. Like, first of all...
Wait. In the sewer?
While they were punching
I
each
just
other?
kept thinking, I was told this was gonna be a romantic episode. Where's the romance? I actually thought maybe they liked each other.
I really wanted to arrange a bigger place, but I didn't want to be too conspicuous.
This'll do.
No kissing still. Then, finally, we cut to the date. And I'm thinking to myself, are these old lovers? Are they gonna kiss?
Okay, sorry.
I'm-
We have to talk about him being pulverized.
I know, but it feels like
Did you think
Baki
that
Taki Crew. It's
when
been
he
a lot
stuck
of
his
the
tongue
sewage.
out, were you expecting that like maybe Jack would go in for the kiss instead of
I
cutting his tongue
I
off?
did think, how's he gonna kiss with no tongue?
Yeah, so basically,
Dry kiss.
talking about superpowers. So one guy's power was he became Captain America through breaking his bones and steroids.
Yep.
And the other guy's was he always gets up, which is an insane thing to say, but I guess that's the one solution to every boxing movie, is that you just take a bunch of punches and wait for the person to tire out. In this case, that did not happen. He got beat up consistently. His face was stepped in at
I
least
thought he died.
3 times. I thought he died.
He should have died.
Did
I
Baki
did
Taki
4
characters
times.
die?
Very, very rarely. Yeah.
No funerals?
No. Unless the person they're based on in real life dies. I just saw a
There's
few.
people they're based on?
Well, first of all,
Have you ever heard of the real life person Muhammad Ali?
I was actually gonna bring that
meant
up.
other characters.
Because I'm like, is this set
I always say Jay
30
Guevara comes
years
next
ago?
season.
Because he lived to like 80 years old. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
so Muhammad Ali at this point is about in his 60s.
Do you think he liked this representation of
somebody-
Baki Taki?
You
Yeah.
know what? My guest last week said that, and I really don't think he would have. I think that seeing his son get his ass handed to him,
Good point.
his fictional son, of course. I don't think there is a real Muhammad Ali Jr., but
If so, shout out.
if so, come on the pod.
Baki Taki Crew, I've heard you've grown to about 400 people, plus Muhammad Ali Jr.
Who told you that?
I made it up.
We've gotten 400 downloads this month. So.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
actually huge.
January's been really good.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's been really good to us. Are they from Brazil, Peru?
Number 1, Canada. Number 2,
Nice.
America. And then Russia and the UK make up the top 4.
Ooh.
We're really
Any other thoughts?
Shout
about
out to
the sewer?
Russia.
All right.
Doing great.
I think we're good with the sewer talk. Anything else you wanted to bring up? I feel about complete with
No,
the sewer.
let me just check my notes right quick.
I wanna get to the Roma.
Species 2. Species 3 is a hit.
I'll just say that Jack completely obliterates Muhammad Ali, and he leaves
Junior.
it. Muhammad Ali
steps on
Jr.
him.
Yes, he steps on him.
Above all, he's a perfectionist.
Like
and so many times you think the stepping's over, and then it continues.
when
then
he
his-
started up again, that was probably one of the best parts of the episode.
I really thought he was dead.
And then he keeps talking, and then his tongue is cut off. His face is literally his
Smushed.
skull has been caved
Smushed.
in, and he's talking shit to this guy. He goes, "Oh, you coward! You're walking away."
Damn it. Just gonna run away like a coward, huh?
I have a pile full of steaks and my sexy butler back at home. I don't need to deal with.
Do we
this
ever
guy.
meet that guy again, Jack? The
So
steak
I'm
man?
gonna put this. I'm gonna put out 2 facts about Jack that I don't know
Okay.
if you guys picked up. One, instead of Captain America, he should be Captain Canuck because Jack is Canadian.
No,
Yes.
no way.
Yep,
Jesus.
Jack
How did we
Hanma.
know that?
But also, I don't know if you guys caught this. Jack Hanma is Baki Hanma's brother or half brother.
I was
Baki
gonna
Taki?
say his
Wait,
last name is the same.
Baki Taki?
Baki Hanma.
Wait, is that Baki Taki?
Yes, he is the main
Wait,
character's
the main
half
character.
brother.
The main character's last name is not Taki?
No, it's Hanma.
No, this
Did
is
you
the-
think that his character name was Baki Taki?
This is a clever pun. It's
Oh!
We talk about Baki.
Wait, the show isn't called Baki Taki?
No, the show's
No.
called Baki. My show's called Baki Taki.
Oh, I thought I didn't know.
Oh my
Gee, wow.
I was told not to do any background research.
No, you took that to the max.
We saw him
That's great.
load up the episode.
I thought how would I know?
It said Baki in big letters.
But then I looked away and I thought it must have said Taki.
This is my favorite. All right,
Okay,
next
so they're brothers.
half brothers. Yeah.
So Baki's not Canadian.
Not his
No,
different
Baki's
dad
not.
then, right?
No, same dad. The Yujiro.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's Yujiro.
That's why they're all so strong.
Where he's
makes
smoking
sense,
and doing the
makes sense.
splits.
Yeah.
So leaving the sewer, we go into this date space, and then I immediately am
August,
thinking to
the best
myself,
bar in Japan, or
what's
the best
going
diner
on?
in Japan.
It's August Family Restaurant, first of all, which means no booze.
And then I'm thinking, were they old lovers? Maybe they're not. He clearly likes her, but it seems transactional.
For real, are you okay?
I just wanted to see your face. I thought it might boost my spirits.
He only likes her
Whoa.
when he, needs a little comfort. I'm not into it. Steve said there was going to be romance. I'm expecting a kiss. So far, 13 minutes in, no kiss.
And he says,
To be fair, it's you were there. The kisses on this show are not something you want to watch.
That's a good point.
yeah, they're pretty predatory. He says when she's there, so he's beaten up. He's got no band-aids on his face at this point in time.
Good point.
And then he says, I wanted to see your face. And she's like, great. Okay, we're friends. She doesn't say that label yet.
No, she doesn't say it yet.
But she's basically, every hint is like, I honestly don't even like you.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
Oh, yeah.
And then this small little man comes up who doesn't look that small because he's standing next to them as they're sitting down.
I thought he was a teacher.
And what I thought he was.
I thought maybe they all went to school
once
together.
Again, I thought he was a waiter for some reason because I don't know.
We don't know what's going on with your thoughts.
Or another
Yeah.
sexy butler because it's a pretty popular occupation in Japan. At this point in time when Muhammad Ali was
Also,
in his 60s.
Just for phrasing, the woman he was talking to was Kozue, Baki's girlfriend.
So is Baki dating her right now?
Yeah.
In the episode.
Oh yeah.
And this guy is trying to steal her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we never knew that.
For someone watching Vampire Diaries, he's basically damoning her.
Damoning?
Damoning.
I did not know she was dating Baki Taki at the time. If that had been told to me at the beginning of the episode, my whole take on this would have been different.
So let's just really just rip this apart and expound on it. He is trying to steal
Baki Taki.
Baki Hanma's girlfriend.
Yes.
The half brother of the guy who just basically turned him
Holy
into
heck.
Yes.
pulp.
Baki
Exactly,
Taki crew,
yes.
we've learned a lot right now. So bring us back to the start,
Okay.
Steve. Why does he want to date Baki Taki's girlfriend? Has there been an old flame?
Kozue, he met her outside of a hospital
Oh.
while Baki was being poisoned to death.
No.
Very romantic.
And he finds Kozue to be the most beautiful girl in the world.
Well, she's the only girl I've seen so far.
She definitely wins by default. And he thinks that he is the best man, and therefore he deserves the best woman. And so he set out to prove that, and that's why he was fighting all of these people to prove that he was better than Baki.
Well,
I see.
clearly everyone got the message because everyone's like, "Oh, you want to fight us? Well, we will beat the living poo-poo out of you."
So is she interested, or she's like, I love me some Baki Taki?
Oh, she is very much. It's very one-sided, but she doesn't shut it down completely. There's a weird dynamic.
She's probably scared because he is intimidating.
Oh yeah, she can't hit him.
No.
Who? Oh my god.
Kozue. That's a direct quote from Muhammad Ali. You can't hit me. I'll show you guys that scene later. Yeah, so a big theme of this episode though is capitalization on the fact that Muhammad Ali just got his ass handed to him.
Junior.
So, yes, Muhammad Ali Jr. Thank you.
Majunior.
Thank you. So you were saying that Goki Shibukawa showed up, who we thought was his teacher.
Yep.
And said, "Hey, can I meet you outside?" And Muhammad Ali just goes, "Oh, sorry, Kozue, I had an appointment. I forgot about."
I'll be honest, I believed him. I did not think it was going to be a
Yeah,
fight.
I was
I
like,
actually
oh.
thought, oh my god, like the teacher like knew he got in a fight. I actually thought something was going to happen, like a bit of a, it's okay, feel better talk. I did not expect a fight.
Knowing Baki, I was expecting him to say something profound and throw a teapot of steam into the air.
Oh, you know this guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know him?
Or something akin to that, where he would somehow disguise the scene, bring up unnecessary exposition about a character or a tournament that means nothing.
I didn't know that.
But it turns out that Shibukawa is seeing this as an opportunity to get revenge for losing his fight from last week.
I don't understand. I thought that things were settled between us.
It seems that losing just doesn't sit very well with me.
You mean that wasn't really a true fight?
You're saying that you actually wanted a true fight?
And I would say, I want to get your thoughts,
Yeah.
that this was the most brutal beatdown of the entire episode.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Hey! Let's see. There. There.
It was, especially when he. Well, at one point it looked like they were holding hands. I was a little excited, but the problem was that it was sad, and I felt bad, and he was just obliterated.
I appreciate you being so emotive. That's really you really just used "I" in a lot of descriptive words. That was really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was horrible. He takes his finger and basically moves it like a joystick, breaking it back and forth as he shaves his face onto a tree.
That was bad. I didn't like that part.
No. This whole episode is him being literally.
Was it more fun when it was the slapstick of being like, I slam you into this tree, and then this tree, and then the ground, and then another tree?
Here's my question: where are the civilians? Why is no one stopping these fights? Because if I saw this fight, I would say, "Oh my god," and I would do something.
If you saw this fight, he would grab your finger and throw you into a
Me?
tree.
I was
You
gonna
don't have
say,
a problem with me?
people see this and run. No one's coming to engage with an old man who's easily
an old man beating up prime Muhammad Ali Jr.
Yeah, he's destroying a 25-year-old guy
with
by
his
literally
fingers.
grabbing his finger.
Yeah.
Actually, the main reason you wouldn't run into this is just as a woman, you wouldn't be in the story, unfortunately.
Good point.
Mr. Kozue, right?
Good point. I'm not Baki Taki's girlfriend, but maybe next season.
Who, by the way, we'll get to it later, is the smartest person in the show.
Who, Baki Taki?
Kozue.
Kozue is the smartest
Kozue.
person in the show.
Why?
She basically breaks down this show.
She does this all the time.
Oh,
she
really?
talks about how stupid it is. Like, why are you guys fighting each other all the time? Like,
I'm the biggest man.
Well, I don't think it's the show she breaks down. It's men. She says, boys are stupid and silly, and you have no good ideas. And I went, that's my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell me that all the time.
That's the main character. I go, you have no friends. Just like Muhammad Ali Jr. clearly has no friends. No one's coming to save him.
Can we bring up? Let's bring
go,
up that
yeah.
reporter scene again. So we see Muhammad Ali, or OG Senior, however you want to call him, Maj Senior, Senior, because we don't have the J. This reporter, who we think is a therapist, because he's being like, all of our experts say. I wrote this down. They say, you'll never be the same as you were before. They just said that straight faced to a 60-year-old man.
Okay, a 60-year-old man.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, especially because he has Parkinson's. You know?
Oh.
He's drooling the entire scene.
Is he in other episodes?
Muhammad Ali Sr.? Yeah. We've actually cut to this same interview about.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna guess 6 or 7 episodes.
Oh, so it's been happening for a while.
Yeah. He taught the guy what it's like to get punched by a heavyweight boxer.
By punching him
No.
himself.
Well, he threatened, but what he did is he gave him a big metal pole, and then he hit the pole. Or he gave the reporter the pole, and then he had to hit the pole as hard as he could on the ground. And the vibrations and numbness he felt in his body is what it feels like to get punched by a heavyweight boxer like Sugar Ray Robinson or George Foreman.
Right, like the George Foreman grill.
What is this show?
I get it.
So the last episode I was on, they talked about Chinese Kempo, and they had a brief little history lesson on that. And then now they have integrated the greatest boxer of all time as a legit character in the show.
Yeah. You missed at the end of last season when Yujiro spent a whole episode talking about the civil rights contributions that Muhammad Ali had.
I have a question.
Nice.
Are these
That's
guys
good.
high schoolers?
So, great question.
Thanks.
Kozue, Baki, yes. Muhammad Ali Jr., I don't know. He
Well,
doesn't
I hope
look
so.
like a high schooler.
I hope so. Why does he have a crush on her?
Well,
because she's the
great
sexiest woman in
she's
Japan.
the most beautiful.
She's the only woman. Apparently, she's the only woman.
Exactly.
Her mom was
Title
in an
1.
episode.
Oh, her mom? What happened to her?
Nothing. She came home and asked if Kozue was ready for bed. But it was a scene that passed the Bechdel test.
Wow. Okay.
Which the show rarely does.
So,
it's the only
let's get on to the third fight.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
just
there's
for
another fight.
I will say for reference, there is in the prelude to the third fight, Muhammad Ali goes and has another little date with Kozue, looking even more banged up. His finger's broken.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Tongue is... we didn't touch on it. In the first scene, he was talking like, "Hello, Kozue, my tongue is broken." But that is healed. But yes, he's interrupted from his third meal by our good friend, Dopo Urachi, who's come back. Did you remember Dopo at all from your episode, Allie?
No, I didn't know who that was. You said, "Oh, look who's back," and I was like, "I don't know who you're talking
was
to."
like the main
No
character of your episode.
Oh, is that the guy who swallowed the alcohol?
No, he's the guy fighting the guy who swallowed.
No, I don't know that guy. Anyways, I'd never seen him before in my life. I don't know who he is. I didn't know any of his powers. All I know is he was on screen. Did you know him?
Who? Oh, yes. Of course. The guy who lost his hand, the Tiger Slayer.
Yeah, you remember from Allie's episode.
Yeah, I watched the episode.
Okay, Baki Taki crew.
The guy who, when they did the CGI, when that used to be part of the show.
He got hypnotized.
And he got
I feel
hypnotized.
like I watched that episode years ago. I couldn't possibly remember.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
Wasn't there peeing, or was that your
That's
episode?
my episode.
I saw the
It's
peeing. I was
greatest peeing
really
scene I've
disturbed
ever
by
seen.
that. In fact, I wondered if there was a lot of peeing in this show, but so far, so good.
There is peeing in the show.
We keep a track. I think it's been 3 or 4. There'll be another one next season where
You
somebody
are right,
pees
though.
on Baki.
We actually did
Oh,
forget.
wow.
She friend zones him, or does that happen after the third?
I think
fight?
that's the third.
Well,
after the third.
Let's talk about the third fight
Okay.
because they are walking in an alleyway. They get lazier and lazier. These people. So the first guy brings him to a sewer where no one's there. The second guy brings him into a
Actually,
park.
he brought him to the sewer. He started that fight. He should not have done that. That was really the cause. Muhammad Ali Jr., he's the one who started the first fight. Had he not started that first fight, maybe he would not have been beat up 3 times in this episode. And that is my thesis.
What are you talking about? Jack Hanma ripped off his
It's
shirt
very clear.
and
She
said,
told you her thesis.
Sorry.
No, he interrupts his dinner. He's having a steak. Jack is sitting there having
He's
a steak.
invited there.
No, I disagree.
No, I think he snuck into the diner.
Yeah, I
100%.
disagree.
And by diner,
Exactly.
I mean 5-star restaurant.
I agree. Baki Taki crew, in the comment section below, please place your thesis.
The best food item on that table is just a single tomato slice on a plate.
Back to fight number 3. So, he's fighting the Tiger King.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
to be
The
confused
Tiger
with
King,
that
okay.
show.
Yeah, and so basically, this is the only time I think since the first fight where Majunior tries to really take it to him, and the first punch he lays right into his forehead, and his fingers literally buckle back. And as he's doing this, right before he makes he has to form his fist because his
fingers were so
his
broken.
fingers are so
Yeah,
broken.
good point.
And then the Tiger Slayer goes, "Oh,
A fist shaped like a box, and you hit your opponent with those boxes. That's why it's called boxing."
that's why they call it boxing."
Yeah.
And my first thought is, well, I don't know what boxes you've been seeing. These are basically meteor-shaped.
You're going to sound
human
so
appendages.
dumb when I fact check this. Prove this wrong. Editor Steve here. So I don't get it. I looked it up. They say that one of the possible root words of boxing is pugilism, as in that was the initial name of the sport back in Latin. I don't understand how pugilism became boxing. They said it just evolved into that, which, okay, I'm not a linguist. Other people, though, think that it comes from the shape of the ring, you know? It's like a box that you fight in. Nobody seemed to think that it's because your fist becomes a box, but none of them sounded that convincing, so I'm going to go with Baki's explanation.
Here's what I thought.
Yeah.
I also have a hard forehead, so I got it. When he said, don't hit someone in the forehead, they're hard. I got it.
That's real. I'm 100% sure that's a real defense that was
I
used in
understood.
fisticuffs.
You identify as someone who has a hard forehead.
I've told you that before. Like,
Oh, I can confirm it. It's
Do you
very-
have any, like, anecdote? Like, do you have a proof that you have a hard forehead?
yeah, one time I was hit in the head with a pail and a nail stuck to my forehead as a
What?
child. Yeah, as a child, I had to be rushed to the hospital. It was a boy, and then I said,
It was a
Whoa.
boy. She got hit in the head with a pail.
It was a
don't
they.
hit me, boy.
They were a them. That's the new version.
Oh, okay.
This isn't that type of podcast. They're recording the Joe Rogan.
That's Joe Rogan experience.
We did see the third fight, and it happened. I didn't have much to say about it, I'll be honest. I was kind of sad about it. At this point, you don't want to watch him continue to get beat up. Let's move on to the date portion. How do we say about that?
Yeah, there's not too much to add, other than just to make it clear, Dopo obliterates Muhammad Ali, but also breaks his leg, breaks his hand,
bullies him,
yeah, and then just leaves. And just because it's fun, I will point out that they do just fight in a random park in the middle of Japan. Not even a park. It looked like just grass in between two buildings.
It's an empty lot.
And he mentions civilians. He says civilians walk by. I didn't see any.
No, he says every few minutes.
A few people will walk by.
A few people.
I was a lie. I saw no people.
They don't show anybody. The
fight took about
at least 2 minutes.
All right.
He his every appendage of his is eliminated, and then he comes back.
He didn't get kicked in the butt.
Is the butt an appendage?
I guess not.
Though, I guess this is another thing I gotta bring up. This is a great point. The butts in this show are so tight.
Nobody else.
I never looked.
Nobody knows.
Just you and Lindsay.
Smallest butts and the biggest legs. Also, thank God I brought this up again. The theme of the episode: big and small. So, first fight. Giant man breaks his bones. Steroids guy Jack Hanma fighting Majunior. The height difference is at least a foot.
Well, now here's the thing, though. And yes, Shibukawa versus Muhammad Ali, there's a huge size difference. Dopo's not that much smaller than Muhammad Ali.
When they're walking in the park, he looks a full foot below him.
Yeah.
So they only are like, okay, then again, Dopo is the last guy.
Sometimes I just looked away.
Sorry, Dopo's not that much smaller than him, but he is smaller than him.
True.
They cannot have two equal-sized fighters. It is not allowed in the Baki-verse.
And then we go to the date portion, and she obliterates him by saying,
the
"You
worst
are
beatdown
lame.
of all.
Yeah.
You are not manly, and we are friends." And he said, "Let's not put a label on it." And she said, "Yeah, let's. We're friends." She says, "You're a loser. Why would I ever date you when I'm Baki Talkie?" And that's all I gotta say about it.
That's a direct.
It was incredible. Yeah, like you couldn't imagine a worse conversation than what you hope to be a date.
Well, I'll tell you. It means that we get to see each other a lot.
Of course. We're friends, so it makes sense that we see each other.
I mean, we don't have to put a label on this. That kind of stuff just doesn't matter. It may be taking a little while, but we're getting to know each other more and more all the time. Like how I know you enjoy lemon tea while I prefer hot coffee.
That's nothing. Pretty lame. It's just... it's not very manly, that's all.
Man, why does she keep going to these? Why does she keep
Let's
going?
not question her motives. Let's question his.
And then what does she say to him? That's like the most brutal part.
She realizes that he lost to Dopo and says, that's not very manly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's literally getting beaten to a pulp every 2 days.
But I have something to add. He was wearing a cool baseball hat. That was a pretty good part.
He had some real style going on. Every other episode, he's wearing that stupid black tracksuit that I have to assume the real Muhammad Ali used to wear. But for the rest of the episode, it feels like we're having like a fashion week type of thing.
Yeah.
Like nobody else in Baki changes their outfit every episode.
Well, my question is, how many days passed in this episode? Because he changed clothes so often.
I'm gonna guess 2.
Oh.
I feel like some of those dates were the same day.
And he just came back and she's still drinking the tea, and he's like, "I've changed."
Oh yeah, and then he's like, "Don't you get it? We have rules to our relationship. I like coffee. You like your lemon tea." And she goes, that
was honestly Kozue undersold that. That was the most pathetic thing I've heard in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He knows what he knows what she orders at August Family Restaurant.
The problem is, so this is the second episode that has a bunch of Kozue and Muhammad Ali dates.
Really?
And yeah. Like, it's a roller coaster. The first episode was the upswing where everything was going right for him, and this episode it's everything going wrong. And the problem with those scenes is I want to literally use every line of dialogue when I'm editing the podcast because they're all just gold. And we do get a really great line from Kozue where she complains that you guys, implying the entire cast other than her,
All men.
are like aliens from Planet Strongest.
Idiot.
Huh?
You guys and the things you say. We'll fight until we die. I'm the strongest. No, I'm the strongest. It's like you're aliens from Planet Strongest.
Which is the name of the final, the name of the ending credits song. I believe they commissioned it.
Oh.
Or at least that's what I can tell. It's in Japanese, but I don't know. That's what I can piece together.
All I want to say is I hope they commissioned it.
So that's why you invited
You
us
didn't
on.
just find
Ali, aliens, can't spell aliens without
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. It's all
Yeah.
full circle.
I invited you on because the Bills just lost Josh Allen, the
Uh-oh.
alien,
Don't do this.
which is Ali.
That is
Yep.
a quote.
Mr.
Tony Romo?
Mr. January.
Mr. January. All things Tony Romo said.
Sorry if you're listening, Dad.
Oh, does he like or hate the Bills?
Oh, he loves the Bills.
Here's a quick
What's your dad's name?
Mike.
Mike, I get it. My stepdad, he's called Mike too. He was upset. No one was as upset as Max when my family called, laughing in his face. My little cousins going,
Yeah, them on the Whistler ski hill calling me after they lost, being like, "You suck. Your team's a loser." And I went, "Awesome, guys."
Max cried.
You know what?
Okay.
I think that's rude. I think if they'd done that last year when they had that great game against the Chiefs back and forth, you know what? You can, but that loss against the Bengals, anybody watching it knows that the Bills were nowhere near winning that game.
Nowhere close.
And to call in and be like, "You guys suck," it's like, what do you say? What do you say back? Like,
You
nah.
cried. That's what Max did. You shed a little tear.
God. Oh
And
my
to come,
God.
And to come back to Baki Taki, that's what Muhammad Ali Jr. did. He cried after Baki Taki's girlfriend obliterated him at the cafe.
So moving on to the last scene of the episode, Muhammad Ali Jr. in the penthouse suite. You guys were asking why he's there. It's because he doesn't live in Japan. He just came here to seduce Kozue.
Oh, really?
Well, he came here. It's very odd. He came here to fight a guy named Dave.
Oh.
Beat him. Then
Max's uncle.
Then he flew to China to
Shout out
compete
to
in a
Dave.
once-in-a-100-year martial arts tournament.
Oh.
And it appears that he has come back to Japan to seduce Kozue.
Wow.
Um,
What a character.
A 17-year-old girl.
For all we know, she's 15.
Muhammad. For all we know,
That's your point.
Muhammad Ali might also be 17. Who knows?
I hope.
Although his dad is 60, so who knows?
Well,
Oh, jeez.
you can be a dad at any point.
That's the real message of this podcast.
It's weird how Muhammad Ali's mom doesn't show up on the show.
Again, there's not a lot of women.
Yeah. He gets a message from a very fancy concierge, who, for all we know, is the waiter butler from previously in the episode.
Good point.
I'll
It's
probably fact check
100% the
this.
waiter butler. He's so submissive.
And it turns out, I'm not going into that. It turns out that there is somebody asking him to come see him in the Peacock Room. Now, I loved your commentary on this, Max, where you just instantly pointed out the only time people want to see him is to fight him.
Yeah.
And Muhammad Ali is on crutches at this point, battered and bruised beyond. Like, he shouldn't be in a hotel. He should be in a hospital.
Yeah.
But he goes down to the Peacock Room, and who is there, and what do they want?
His dad.
The Muhammad Ali.
And he's ready to fight his son.
Dad, what? Why are you here?
To fight.
To fight? You mean you're going to fight? Against who?
Against you, Junior. Without gloves.
This man is like Don Cherry at this point in time, just clearly at a state where he's drooling and needs help. And that's a shot. And that's a shot. But this
going,
whole
please.
episode, so Muhammad Ali, when we see him, the senior, he air punches around the reporter
Therapist.
to prove that
Reporterist.
Edward Norton.
to prove something, and then gives him a little love tap on the bottom of the chin.
He reminded me a little of my grandpa.
And the reporter, and then he goes and huffs and puffs because he's so exhausted and drooling again. And the reporter's reaction is, he's still got it.
I would rather be a war correspondent than have to deal with Muhammad Ali. This guy's been terrorized for like 5 episodes.
Really?
And he loves Muhammad Ali.
The reporter?
Yeah, the reporter thinks Muhammad Ali is... I think he would marry him.
And he's being bullied by him.
Oh my god, Muhammad Ali, every episode, says something, and then the reporter goes, "Oh no! Don't beat me up, sir!"
But he finally did.
Well, he punched around him.
Well, there was marks on his face.
I like how he punches around him and goes, "Wow. It's so impressive. He's still the champ."
Thank you, champ. And listen, I apologize. I was wrong. You've already done enough, so... Help! Wait, what? Who's ever gonna believe this? The champ, over 60 years old, struggling with illness, is still able to move like he did in his prime.
And then Muhammad Ali goes, "For 1 to 2 minutes."
Yeah.
There you go. Same here.
So, spoiler for next week, but do the dad and son fight?
Yes.
Guess you're gonna have to watch to find out. Are there any fan questions we can answer?
So well, let's close a bow on this. He's drooling, and then
I thought we did close it.
and then
Let's reopen the bow.
He comes into the room and he goes, "Dad, what are you doing here?" "I gotta fight you. You and me. Let's fight." And then he goes, "Well, I didn't expect this, even though 3 other people came up to me at August
Well, it
Family
is shocking.
Restaurant."
You're not gonna assume your dad's about to fight you when your dad's dying.
Yeah. Would you... Yeah, especially your dad with Parkinson's.
Dying.
Flew across the country to fight you.
Is my dad wearing a chain?
Muhammad Ali lived another 20 years, I will say.
Maybe not in Baki Talkie world. We don't know. I've
Maybe
not
not.
seen the other episodes.
This is alternative fiction. The whole reason that this world is so crazy is because Muhammad Ali Jr. or Muhammad Ali died.
He
early.
dies.
Yeah.
I hope they just continue
Baki
this
kills
show.
him.
They continue Baki to just mirror his life, but become more and more accurate as it goes on.
I have an idea.
Just factually, he was in Boston at this time. He attended this sports game.
What about Baki Talkie and he goes all around the world? Like, next he goes to Lindsay, Ontario. And
I'd love to know anything about Baki. Where is he?
Well, I don't know. I've
Question
never
number
seen
one.
him. I don't even know who he is. I've never seen him. in any
You
of the
did
episodes.
see him. He kissed Goes Away.
No, that was not a kiss, and I didn't see him. I only saw the side of his face. And
Wait. Just to go back to that episode, that kiss was insane. Where people walked by and went...
I love how much you
they
remember.
tongued
that.
for a while.
People walked by and went, "Oh, that's really good.
Aww.
Look at that good kiss of these two
I don't even know if I
leaders."
would call it a kiss. It was more like a slurp.
Who would stop their adult
hard
friend to comment on teenagers kissing and be
So,
like, "Very good"?
I know the Baki Talkie fans have sent in some fan questions, so why don't we start with question 1? What was your favorite moment of the episode?
Wait, you have the question?
They sent that in?
They sent it to me.
Well, okay. I think pound for pound, my favorite moment of the episode is when, after beating Muhammad Ali Jr. to a pulp, Jack Hanma then starts stomping his face repeatedly. I think it's got to be my favorite.
My favorite has to be, once you get the premise of the episode, Dopo in the window of August Family Restaurant just doing a little finger gesture towards himself like he's beckoning a lady of the evening just to go on, "You and me, baby."
My favorite is when he's in fight number 2 and all of a sudden 4 birds appear on screen. And for
Bugs!
They're birds. And for 1 second, you just see the birds, and then it cuts back to the fight. Where were those birds? Who are they? Why
and
did we
all
see
the
them?
sound cuts out.
What was that? I don't understand.
4 distinct
martial
birds.
arts.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you guys that is not from the fans.
Oh.
But what... So you guys watched the 2nd and the 11th episode, respectively.
Sure.
It's been a long time since then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the show has gotten better or worse in that amount of time?
Oh, worse. My episode was so good. Episode 11 was so good. Remember that guy? He swallowed the alcohol.
He didn't swallow anything. He burped it up.
That's not your
Well,
episode.
At one point,
You
he
weren't
did
supposed to
swallow
watch it. He swallowed the alcohol. A lot went on. There was that tongue kiss. This episode, I was disappointed by. I was hoping there might have been more romance, more friendship. Instead, I was sad. A lot of beating up and this broken father-son relationship. So I'll rate it a 1 out of 10.
Oh my god. The thoughtful pause before going to a 1 out of 10.
There you go.
Wait. For context, what would you rate your previous episode?
At least a 4. Maybe a 3.5, but probably a 4.
Which is insane considering
At least a 4. It's
for
such high praise.
all 3 of those extra points are only for the kiss.
No.
Because you can't name a single thing that happened between
the
Doko
alcohol.
and the
Yeah,
big
I
giant
liked the alcohol.
Yeah.
I liked the alcohol that he swallowed and then he spit up, and I thought it was a bit of acid reflux, maybe.
Well, it was acid reflux because that was a vial of acid and it wasn't alcohol.
I thought it was acid reflux.
Why did you enunciate it like that? Is that different?
So what
Acid
episode
reflux
do you like best?
this episode sucks.
What episode did you like best? 2 or whatever episode we just watched?
Well,
Part 3, episode 10.
Episode 2 was great because there was the best pissing scene I've ever seen on TV.
That made the highlight.
And
episode.
also the pranks were at next level, and there's a group of circus performers who tried to threaten Baki and then got
yeah. That was good.
Baki was in your episode.
He was actually the prominent figure in my episode.
I'd say he was the main character. In
I
that
have a
episode.
question. Why is the main character so often not in the storyline?
It's really just because we're coming into this story like 10 years in, and I feel like that the author just sort of worked through a lot of the stuff that he wanted for Baki. Like, next season is going to be very Baki focused.
Oh, really?
It's just these 30 episodes. Wait, what is it? 39 episodes that we're in right now are not very Baki focused.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, we need a lot of the lead up, clearly.
Well, then...
We need a lot of Dopo getting his hand cut off and
Dopo's
re-sewn
not
on.
in the next season.
For sure.
Is
No,
the
of
girlfriend?
course. That's
No,
a waste.
Kozue's not in it.
What happens to her? Do they
she-
break up? She dies?
Somebody okay,
No.
so I went on the Baki Reddit, and
It's open
somebody
right now.
somebody asked what happens to Kozue after this arc,
No.
and somebody said she goes to study in Canada, and then he followed it up with
To be with the
no,
brother?
he follows it up with that's not actually canon, but I like to think that because the author never explains why Kozue
She just
doesn't
goes
show up
away?
anymore.
So are there any women next season?
There's one really big woman, yeah.
Big character or just big?
I'm not gonna elaborate until we get till next season.
Jesus.
Guess you're gonna have to tune in, Baki Talkie fans.
Why do you hold a microphone? You pretend to hold a microphone. You even gestured to Steve with a fake microphone.
That's all for now, Baki Talkie crew.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, that is most of what I wanted to talk about. Unless you guys had anything else you wanted to say.
No, but this show it just hits it out of the park. Just starting in a place that makes no sense, ending in a place that's completely random, and then only the following episode to pick up from that exact fight and then go wherever it needs to be. Just great.
Allie?
Yeah, I guess the one thing I didn't talk about yet was it did remind me of Clue in the beginning. I don't remember why I thought that, but I just thought for all the fans out there who are thinking the same thing, you're not alone, Baki Talkie crew.
Does it remind you of Tim Curry?
No.
No? What about Chris Hansen and the way he's so sensual with his words?
Lots of love, Baki Talkie crew. It's been real fun. We'll probably see you the next time a character kiss. Other than that, enjoy your night.
Yeah, see you guys in the theoretical 4th season or 5th. Yeah, so that's all the Baki we've got to talkie. We managed to get a Max episode in under 50 minutes. So
Yeah, it's because I cut him
congrats.
off. I said, no more of that.
I couldn't take many notes. That's good.
All right, see y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Friday.